Yes, Ghana for John Dramani Mahama so experience be Ghana for and so di ja aka bom and na no pay yera John Dramani Mahama and na appointees Ghana for and nyasem kotwa Mrs. G8 Koose I wo tuja na me akabuade so to na mayor senyo eso to wo say yera John Dramani Mahama wo wane ne vice omo ye insensitive ebi mo to say omo ye dey omo ye akromfo ebi mo to say yera John Dramani Mahama and appointees omo accept blame me de ekoso ene de esi nyina omo accept Ghana for what is the Kevin Taylor so and ya good John Dramani Mahama so Ghana for me see ekro bekum kraman and etra pampam me see ensuayiri at the NDC co-opposition and at the NDC co-opposition and me see go for the honeymoon Ghana for atwa da pa asan Ghana for afina Ghana for ahwo aduan dey aba omo so a omo hu se ase bibi NDC for abo bibi dey aguman eni so etienne G8 Koose afo so ama Kevin Taylor na aduan dey abafie was in the SCA yewra John Dramani Mahama wono in the trade brem mano Kevin Taylor atira edruda to omeni so set of Rebecca send and 32 omo chair from the so bia hu say edro and yewra John Dramani Mahama and NDC for the year dey and we need to me no it got for with your man ha me ho me meye de met ya tem kwantuatua waso message say channel need voiceofnsawamtv say and then no first about him videos now subscribe to my YouTube channel na dey amami we no one like no share no say comment notification bell banado say me aso say be ya anytime bia voiceofnsawam medi new video betum bia no onsa so bet my dey akami Ghana for and then the ano dem papa etimo me enko tie na wo wia mame hu adwentre me dey Haruna Idrusu de na start mo me enko tie ko say de okeka kire Haruna Idrusu me enko tie
ena me da sore ya yenti asema eye ai education minister eye Haruna Idrusu ababonti abekasa I say if MPP couldn't solve the fraudulent situation in 8 years, don't expect NDC to solve it in just 2 years in power. Haruna Idrusu NDC ni eye education minister say same people for better so 8 years na woman ntimi an solve nsuo pa eyiri amanfo no se woman ntimi an solve a mama Ghana for expect say 2 years pa NDC ba power no woman be solve sa problem no won Haruna Idrusu wonye serious as a minister ya catch no pain to pain wonye serious wo Haruna Idrusu won deserve process say we minister wo deserve ba kopo won deserve you say what ponche obi won deserve ba ko Haruna Idrusu won deserve as a minister. You are very very ashamed as NDC ni wo say MPP for ntimi ansolve insuo na eto na eyiri amanfo edani say anti wo MPP for ntimi ansolve in 8 years how much more say NDC for betimi abe solve in 2 years unye serious as a minister unye serious MPP better so 8 years no who say nsuo to ye yiri nko 40 say MPP for be 8 years ewa mambo mu no kire me singi de ye nsuo to ye ekunkum amanfo yiri amanfo in the 8 years kire me wa bai na abaso na nsuo ato na ese nkofo den kunkum nkofo na brabonti as a minister brabonti na bekasa wo obi owo opposition e na wo ka no ho asem unye serious say o man ne kura wo ye leader unye serious obi aba betra so 8 years nsuo anto ti say na wo aba betra so 2 years na nsuo to eyiri nkofo na for solution bra wo se obi aba betra so 8 years wontimi anya hu bibi nti no obi aba 2 years ama me expect so betimi anya hu bibi unye serious as MP unye serious as a minister unye serious as a regional minister won kra wo ba ye wo Idrusu wo ba ye won kra wo ba ye enkola teachers kure didi wo mu student won kwa wa breso wo ye minister A school for no one more teachers in every one a school for and so ye minister then why I found Ghana for su Ghana for bre Ghana for diawreho na bra na bekasa na nto Ghana for akoma so a wo the MPP no wo position ye mfanto ho wo the MPP no wo position na Ghana for ato abadi eti MPP wo mo tifie no wo se MPP abedi 8 years na wo mo antimi anya bibi wo ho a that means wo na wa abedi 2 years no wo no mama Ghana for expect say obetimi aye bibi it is MPP for na ejimi e na wo mo anya what about wo na wo ye nyansani no for the same MPP for na ejimi and the 8 years wo mo antimi ansolve problem no what about wo na wo ye nyansani ni de na say wo ye enye say wo behwe na wo de nyoma pa gu akwa mu say wo mfa nyoma pa kura ngu akwa mu a brabonti na beka awrechechira asem e kire Ghana for wo ba to talk rubbish enye wo na aye bi aye mi ya mi je na magimi na mato ma abade ama mahama na mahama aba power na wo ba be yi wu Idrisu say brabe ye education minister say nya asem kura na ye nkanka wo kura wo deserve say obe ye education minister say nya asem na ye nka because ye ka education ne say education ye obi a wasua ade ko akire enye say wo twere nkwa o wonum kasa kra ye education wonum kasa kra ye education how to talk to people how to treat people kra ye education ana wonim nti sa wo timi babo ntin be ka say 8 years na Akufo Addo ntimi anya bibi na say 2 years pen NDC aba ntima me expect say won be ye hu bibi a you don't deserve as education minister because wonim kasa wonim kasa ba ko kora so you don't deserve as education minister you don't deserve wo nami NDC obi a wo de wa kuma me NDC pa me donyame wo gidie wo NDC mu no nya saa gidie no na fa obi a onya ace fa obi a onya HIV kokoda unya saa ace ni bi da saa ya da ne affect o da NDC this is NDC for you.
Abide upon abide, and this government needs to be blamed because there are some things that the government needs to be bold, some decisions the government needs to take, and it been a make a so the NDC government also needs to take blame for this because right now, MPP now also this is the NDC government in power. So at the purpose here, you better NDC abaso. So the NDC government needs to sit up and look at this issue critically. They need to basically make decisions, and those decisions are what? People living close to drainages, give them weeks to move from there and cover those nonsense drainages. Don't give people the room to commit a crime. In our attempt to save our own people, our decisions destroy them, and that is what is happening. Because I'm very sure, say, you created this drainages, our intentions, but that decision you take here, is it helping? That decision is rather destroying us because you drainages now, near man of what
Kevin Taylor na ekate Kevin Taylor si emfa sombo no mbo NDC government o si NDC government na emfa sombo ma embo wo mu because NDC na wo power. Say ya the papa na esi ya enke ebebo NDC din enti sa de boni so esi ya yembo NDC din Captain Smart na yente Captain Smart Captain Smart is it? Nsuone etoye ni MPP. A MPP carelessness ene mansuo no toye Kevin Taylor so say yemfa brebe ne NDC because NDC dey power. Mama Kevin Taylor nyansa o. Mama Kevin Taylor pressure, me sisi Kevin Taylor nyankopon se yenka ne kore. Wo sua nyansa papa. Sisi Kevin Taylor kanyansa sem. Sisi a video we Kevin Taylor kanyansa. Na me Kevin Taylor o da o so me hodae. O sori o so me hodae. Odidi oso me hodae odwale oso me hodae oni oso me hodae babia Kevin Taylor me ko bi oso me hodae babia oso me hodae wasi da one kura ni kosa one kura ni GH koose I got this man. Yeah, no more. Yeah, it is. I'm up for Dick at his mouth at him. Eddie Kevin Taylor at him, but maybe a near economy. Timu say Kevin Taylor no or sacre nadjeni. What I say recycling. Not Jenny Buffy, and yes, I'll be supporting MPP there because me mean supporting MPP. But or sacre nadjin or becanyans as a mafia. What I say, aka ne aka Kevin Taylor sacre nadjin aka ne aka aka ne aka.
Yes, Ghana for etu ha woni ko se eya adwen ana woni ko se eya adwen woni ko se eya adwen ya mesrew se mame hu adwen kire se me dika ka kire ma adwen kire na ho ye dey ehia pa eti mame hu adwen kire pa e wo hono no ya mame hu adwen kire Ghana for ensiwa o de wi ameyo senyo enti se igwefu yi omoni e de pa o wo no susu edi cool your friends Dramani Mahama and na so no Ghana for we yam kra be chechew and so mum yam kohwe na wo we so ma me hu adwenche e wo comment section ho.
Mr. President, you and your government, you are scammers and you are reckless and insensitive.
So cool down. I understand your passion and everything, but the point really is the fact that the National Day of Thanksgiving was planned before the floods came. It was announced way before the floods came. So are you suggesting that because of the flood, it should have stopped the National Thanksgiving service from going on? It couldn't have. Or
you see, let's call a spade a spade. This government is a settings government. Yes, I agree that the prayer and Thanksgiving program was planned. Are you telling me that the money they've spent is more far better than the lives that we are losing, that they cannot postpone that program to the end of the week? What are you saying? We have lost lives of over 30 people, and you're saying that they should go and wear white apparel. And the president has now made himself a blogger using his mobile phone to be scanning the environment, and people are there hailing him that the Mahama is the who. What are you saying? What are you telling me? I am not happy because the president is insensitive. The entire government, have you even seen any of the leadership of the NDC government? Put aside even the president. Have you seen any of the NDC executive going to any of the side, the national executives? Please. It is
I've seen a lot of them.
Gentlemen, keep quiet. When I'm done, you come in.
wait, hold on.
And you see,
yes,
the anointing is that look at the NDC manifesto, page 68 of the NDC manifesto. When I say these guys, they are scammers. They have actually put up schemes and they have scammed the entire Ghanaian.
What does the manifesto say?
Now, in their manifesto, page 68, point 423, under drainage and irrigation system, under that, they say what? Our programs to improve drainage and irrigation includes 1, I'll skip it. 2, I'll skip it. 3, I'll skip it. 4, building water retention and detention ponds in flood-prone cities for flood control and irrigation. 5, repairing and maintaining drainage systems such as those on the Odo River to to sustainably manage water resources, empowering local government to desilt drains regularly, especially before the rainy season, constructing storm drainage systems in critical urban areas to mitigate flood risk, supporting the Ghana Irrigation Development Authority to expand and upgrade irrigation systems nationwide, and establishing solar power irrigation channels to support small, medium, and large-scale farming initiatives. All that I've read, Alidu, I put it to you, just as it is done in court. Mention 3 places that in the last 18 months, your government, your insensitive scam government, has done just 3 of these things. If he's able to mention, I'll walk out of your studio. Just 3. Halidu, please, I'm talking to you. We are on this panel together.
But you said he shouldn't speak.
He said he should. At this time, I'm addressing him. He should mention just 3.
You are giving him some of your time.
No,
Yes.
take your time. Take
Just 3 of the things your government did
Alidu, are
in
you
terms of the manifesto
Alidu,
promise.
are you minded to answer him?
No, I'm writing them down.
No, I want you to. I will continue. I will continue. So I'm pausing.
He says that he's not ready to answer you.
Just 3 of them, and I walk out of this studio.
So you wrap
see,
up.
All the
Yes.
things I've mentioned, they have done nothing, not even a single, not even 0%. They have rather decided to sweep monies meant for that work into a different account. I've said time and time that the president and his vice president are very insensitive. They are very, very insensitive. As of today, have you heard that the vice president, who is a mother, who actually went from one market to the other, campaigned to the market women, begged them, lured them, scammed them, coerced them, that she was going to make sure there is women's bank in the various communities or in the various markets. They should actually vote for her party. Have you heard her visiting any of these markets to empathize with them? She has never done that. All she did was yesterday when she visited the cadet graduation. She's there and talking English to us. That is a murder. That is a murder for you, and they want us to take them serious in this country. Professor Nana Opokwajima, the mother and the vice president for that matter, she has failed to show empathy to the lives who have lost the houses that have been displaced.
But the presidency has announced so many things
Hold on.
Put in place to deal with this.
Again,
Yes.
the president decided to do the usual PR. And what the president did, in communication crisis, by way of going with the chopper in the air and having an area view of the place, and then I don't know whether he was trying to say this is a zoo or this is Accra or whatever, all those things that the president was doing, it was just for the optics, and it is a playbook that they were doing to us.
Just Ghana for so mayor senior on say me say Ayeka no omo bo adwuma Ghana for enya asem kutu o me say miracle dia on so be bom no ebeje wonsem Ghana for ebeje wonsem na koose die ba ko bi wo ho a no de watie si enya bo na he bo he no te ene da horo manka say be che ene da horo me na mbese ye se be ya John Dramani Mahama ye be bu machi because o mo ka che say si your friend say John Dramani Mahama born na ye wini England for board draw no aha e ya memmo papa e dey my England for board it was ne pese ni Colombia for ahye dey amemmo born na say dey it me the number say ye it go say eso ka bi wo na Ghana for answer be ko say dey no de mum ye nkotie miracle aboaje ewurade na akopɔ man me firi no rough me nim say what you feeling na me sra wo hwa wi aba me hu adwe nkyerɛ e wo comment section mum me ye nko me nkotie miracle aboaje e beje wonsem mum ye nko.
In every society, there will be thieves, there will be criminals, there will be miscreants, there will be deviants, there will be recidivists. There are everywhere. But leadership ensures that all these people, including the saints, the popes, the pastors, are able to coexist in a way that the society thrives. So it is leadership. To try and use the indiscipline of a few as a cover or leadership failure is unacceptable. That is why the mandate has been given to you. If all of us were pastors and popes and saints, we will not elect leaders. We elect leaders because we know that the society that we run, all of us are not at the same wavelength, and so people would misbehave. And so you'll be given a mandate to ensure that the majority of us who are respecting the laws and the rules do not suffer from the actions of the few who are doing all this indisciplined stuff. So the president and the government has failed us. That is the summary of it. And this is not politics. This is accountability. Yesterday, the government that was in place had to take responsibility. And I take inspiration from our president. He was clear. He said that the flood and rains in Accra was as a result of Akufo-Addo's failure. I believe him. I agree with him. And that is why a lot of people who probably suffered floods in 2021, 2022, 2023 went and probably voted against the MPP because they heard a presidential candidate who said he had a solution. So there is no question. Nobody in this country is responsible for the flooding other than the government. Nobody.
No.
Nobody else other than the government.
You are not going to intervene.
Nobody else. It is the government's responsibility. And let me tell you, I'll outline how I feel and I think this government has failed. You see, you come to office. One of the biggest red flag, or everybody knows in the capital, is flood. Every government is aware of that. And that is why immediately you came to office, you formed an anti-flood task force. Why did you form that anti-flood task force? If you didn't have the responsibility to deal with flood, why would you go ahead to form a task force? It means that you acknowledge that it is your responsibility. If not, why did you set up a task force? Now this task force immediately put bloggers in a vehicle and asked them to go and wait for them whilst they fly in a chopper, landed the chopper, and briefed the bloggers what they have seen and said big things about how they've been given the mandate, marching orders by the president to ensure that this time we do not see flooding and that they are going to do all they have to do, led by no mean a person than the Deputy Chief of Staff of the Republic of Ghana in charge of operations. It meant that he can command any state resource available to ensure that there is no flooding in the city. Nobody else is responsible for what happened on Monday. It is the government. And I'll tell you more. The anti-floods responsibility, task force responsibility, is to ensure that what happened on Monday did not happen. Not only that, remember that 3 weeks before Monday, another one had happened, that people had died. So first of all, that anti-flood task force failed. Because your job is to your job is to prevent. You would have succeeded if there was no flooding. As long as we have seen flood in such a devastating nature, you failed. Take responsibility. Don't make excuses. It is disrespectful. It is insulting. It is heartbreaking. When you were given a responsibility to anti something and the thing has happened and you want to shift blame. Number two, the government has managed the crisis and the disaster in the most shambolic manner than we have ever seen. And I will explain to you something. You see, the flood happened. Remember, there was a flood about 2 or 3 weeks before the Monday one. The one that some building collapsed in Adenta and some people died. That was the first warning. Remember, people died with that one. What did the government do? There was a building that collapsed right here around Caprice. What did the government do? What was the government's response to all of these things? There are 3 or 4 levels of people who are affected by this. And I'll explain to you. The government quickly comes in the middle of the disaster and says that, oh, we are in a chopper, we are looking at how bad the situation is. The next morning, they said we have allocated 350 million for flood relief and flood mitigation. And this is where they are missing the point. Today is Saturday, 5 clear days since the flood happened. I haven't been able to enter my home. My house is empty. Nobody has called me. Nobody has come to me. Nobody has asked me where I sleep, what I eat, what my family is eating, where they sleep. I am just one citizen. Forget about me because I am in the category of people who can find their way around. So put us in a different bracket. Now, for those who cannot find their way around, those who live along the Odo River, those who live at Tiptoe Lane, those who live at Circle, that cannot find places to sleep since Monday, have you heard the government open up the sports stadium, set up a dome, giving them blankets and mattresses, and tell them that come and sleep here, whilst we find ways and means to. Some say, look at me, tell me who I should blame for my flood. I don't dump in refuse into any waste bin, any drain. I haven't built in waterway. I live in an area that is planned by the government itself. So why am I flooding? And you are telling me that I should take responsibility for my flood and not the government.
Yes, Ghana for some catch all. Oh, say audition, so one qua aquarian. Ghana for Missy Kabuajasim or one in the yard. I say, may a for Bremu Bia, John Dramani Mahama, and a trade Brimano. What a chance would take it Brim and I say, what you two say, and you want an in a Jumaye, and a mad Yabedu Sabesiana, whatever Kabuaja. Therefore, me a minute yard, because as you have a wood dream, Brim voice of Winsawam, say, Mia, why was too early the Okuma, and you want the car. Young two abamano, no baba Ghana for any Japadia on by Ghana for you no. Me to you make for BB. John Dramani Mahama appointees in your two mocha for BB. At the end, in Suyesia, Yava to bomb me. Yava bomb me. Ghana for Yava bomb me. And I have a boy. Yava would a watch the Yavamono. It's Ghana for Mammy who are venture, our comment session, the Yava to one day, Emon, Minaka, minute in the whole wrong. Ghana for Messay and see wow. Ghana for Messay wouldn't say, and now, what is your say? No, who ye? No one is here say, therefore, who the mommy uncle and me uncle here. Now we are not men who are drinking. I was drinking with Yammy Pa, who we are not men who are drinking. Mommy uncle, you good tea.
I think there was a bit of misunderstanding or something like that. I don't know what happened there, but at this level you play against the best teams, and the moment you give them a slight opportunity, they take it, and that's what happened today. We fell short, and we'll have to take it under the chin and focus on the future.
So we should focus on our future. Now that means Jordan, are you an so on retire or Copa African car park? Abo. Shane kwasi akasebi. Future ben a wo. Future ben pana wo ewo football mu biem. Future ben a wo. Who 34 years. Who the team bo a Premier League. Who the team Eddie now call relegation. Who think here about future? Who team Leicester City bo Premier League. What the Leicester City Eddie call relegation. Who in the future? Relegation now what the Leicester City call yane korano. Relegation zone. What's as one permanent enough another relegation? Who in the future? When you're 34 years, who future in this will be retire. Jordan, are you? Who are 34 years? Who future? And then they say, will be retire. Football. Who Premier League? Who do team? And they are called relegation. Who in the future? From relegation, what's our so the team? Echo another relegation zone. Who in the future at the age of 34 years? Who in the football future? As a striker, who bought tournament? What about four matches? One ball shot on target. Who in the future? As a striker, what about 4 matches? 0 shot on target. One ball shot on target. Who in the future? Coach anadwini nya adwuma. Coach anadwini nya adwuma. Eno de Jordan Ayew beto edene beto obe fixe Jordan Ayew. Ewo match him. What striker was shot on 0 shot on target. Also my fixing or match him. What dwini nya adwuma. Coach anadwini nya adwuma. Eno obe fixe striker obe ball 4 matches. 0 shot on target. Coach and not Juni Neduma. And over fixes as striker and so or major match him agise coach anadwene nya adwuma wo bo Antoine Semenyo ewo off position wadwene ya adwuma se sana Pep Guardiola eye Semenyo nanka yebehu Semenyo nanka Semenyo ball no beye fema wa friend so mebo national team as a coach wo call tournament what bought 3 matches when you best of defenders so what do you knockout stage o best defenders no ti mayi bi di afrim watwene ye adwuma watwene na ye adwuma wo bought tournament as a sensible coach wo bought tournament what bought 3 matches and when you best defenders what do you knockout stage wo say me best defenders ni me best goalkeeper no mayi na afrim ma wo mote bench and you before for the abecha ho watwene ye adwuma as a coach oh bought tournament what about 3 informations ba kwa farmer and the whole world will be a case some information a wo boy with Ghana and England the same information here the best information e do knockout stage what's the same information what you need adwuma the history of Ghana the most useless FA president in so far the history of Ghana ye can't FA president yenya on junior mine who ye useless aye Kete Okreku be ye GFA president again what contribute to our Ghana football Kete Okreku ebeye GFA president e die pena Kete Okreku a contribute to our Ghana football mu adie ben or dia ba a benefit ben or dia bra Ghana football so mine ya modie wo Steve Napier sanya mo ye no se sa na mo ye emrema wo bobo no se sa na sa technical teams for ne ye mo a na nkamu benya kukuduro akobo South Africa 2010 akoduru quarter final se semi final
game no huni saying
coach we say Nyankopon ba kwa na kwa emia no Nyankopon wa wiem
ade
afomuya amemo bonio say amemo bonitino o piara o amemo bone anam ye ibrasta to every gabo where wa say yes no sa na ya be sa ejo ma ha wo position kwasi asem sa ro keka yo o keka kwa so say amemo bonitino brasters grab boy ntimi wi ni gabo we mi busabo we e di amemo di amemo na ujiri se brasta team no any NDC aban ka umbi chere ko ade aban no se NDC aban another NDC aban John Dramani Mahama danu se heaven no omusu kobia na me say Nyankopon awiem therefore mami hu wa drentre e o video ahwe ai ene we can dress kakra ene da bia dey betima ya aggressive sa eti yensre kakra to me hu wa drentre you see emojis bibia never try wa drentre e o comment section no me da hase na wo say share bako WhatsApp any political group we are was we e was so share bako Facebook ya share me the pattern Ghana for masrama miti ya mo share ma me